37, 4 to 8 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this." When we plant the seed of faith in God, we can expect a harvest of multiplication, just like the mustard seed. Yeah, the mustard seed story in the Bible. The mustard seed is the smallest seed, but yet when it grows, it becomes the largest garden plant, becomes a tree, and you see birds, they come perch on it. Our lives can become like a mighty tree, providing shelter and fruits for others. The parable of the mustard seed also illustrates the idea that something small can grow big. The key principle is consistency and perseverance. I want to share a story of how I started Zadel Concept. That was in the year 2009. I just graduated from school, that's Abraka. I studied chemistry, by the way. I have never worked in a bank. No experience prior to that time. When after graduation, most of us are like, I don't want to go back home, while we are waiting for service, what can I do? But meanwhile, before then, I was into a lot of business. I sold shirts, office shirts. I sold makeup kits. I think I was in Mary Kay then. I did a lot of things. Now, after graduation, I grew up with a single mother, and I wasn't privileged, let me put it that way. Single moms, how they struggle, take loans from bank. In fact, there was even an experience I do share. It's quite funny. I tell people that when I wanted to enroll for WAEC, my mom didn't have the funds to enroll me for WAEC. She couldn't get the money on time. Before she got the money, the enrollment time was over. So she was able to enroll me for NECO. And I think I was very bright then, still bright anyway. And just one sitting in my NECO, I made all my papers. Now, after that time, I didn't get into school immediately. I started working. Yeah, for those of you probably in your from secondary school, immediately after secondary school, I started working because there was actually no funds for me to further my education. I think I was doing about 3 jobs at the time. I was teaching in a school. I had a private lesson, where you have these privileged children, you go to their home to teach. When I see my daughter and her home tutor, these days, I did this, growing up. And I think this was around 15, 16 years old. Yeah. I started working earning money. After the teaching in the school, I'll go for the home lesson. Then when I come back, I do have these children in the streets. They come, I teach them. They pay us, I think it was around 500 naira. And at the end of the month, I'll put all this together and give everything to my mom because I know she needed help. I needed to support her. So my mom was in charge of my upkeep. She literally buys everything for me. I was the one earning the money, but she was in control. Now, back to how I started in 2009. I knew, I think whether they call it daydreaming, but I know I was always daydreaming. I never wanted to work for anybody. I read books a lot. So at that early stage, I've read a lot of books, and they call it fantasy. This fantasy in your head, but now it's actually vision. You just have this idea that this is how I want my life to be. So I started early to vision. I had this vision that this is what I want. Or probably I could just start daydreaming of how my life is going to be. If you look at my reality at that time, it was really funny because it's not even possible. But I kept on. So I remember the hostel. I think around that Campus 3 area, if you are familiar with Abraka, Campus 3 area, that police station road, that was where I lived. So there's this woman, a single mom, too. I have this compassion. I'm compassionate towards single mothers, young girls, widows, because I've had first-hand experience on whatever challenge they are going through. So this lady, she's always borrowing money from me. She's like, "Oh, Zainab, please, can you help me with 1,000? And Zainab, can you help me with 2,000? And she was doing business, this provision kind of business. So I just thought, I said, what if I give this woman money, then add little interest, Then I started thinking. Mind you, growing up with my mom, remember my mother was always borrowing money. Yes. So I understood how that actually works. But the kind of money she borrows is, those money lenders, the evil ones, that you keep on paying interest and it never ends. So at times they come to the house, they can come and take your property. You see us begging, we're crying, "Oh, please, don't do this, don't do that." But they don't listen. They will still take it. So I was like, I don't want to be that kind. How do I do this? What do I do? Then an idea just came, like, okay, what if you add the interest and then whatever it amounts to, you spread it over a period of time. So you make it easy for them to pay maybe little amounts every week. And that was how the vision started. So I met this lady. I was like, Mama, I have this idea. Why not? Let's do it like this. Can you add other women to you? Like 5 people come together, I'll give you money, then you start paying this amount. She was like, oh, when she heard what she'll be paying every week, not monthly. She was like, wow. And at the end of, I think it was 6 months then, that's 24 weeks. So she was like, so at the end of 24 weeks, I am no longer owing you. I said, yes, because you are paying both part principal and part interest every week. And that was how I started. Without a business plan, it wasn't perfect, let me put it that way. I just came up with that idea. Then thanks to the internet, I went to the internet to know how to loan forms and agreements. I have this, till today I still have that file where I call it my draft file. When I have an idea, I think most of them can attest to that. I just say, please, let me have a sheet of paper. I don't even wait for my diary. I just get a sheet of paper. I start writing immediately. So whatever I write, at the end of the day, I go back, put everything together. I was opportune to have a laptop then. I just typed the form, prepared the form, went to a business center, printed out the form, and voila, that was how I gave them the first loan. They were not up to 5 anyway. They were just 3 women. I gave them 50,000 naira each. That was 150,000, and that was how I started. Then I now thought, okay, how do I grow this? Do you understand? How do I grow this business? Now I've given them money, they start paying back. She now came, I have 2 other women that are interested. I was like, I don't have money again, what do I do? So a thought just came to mind, like, okay, this money they are paying, I can actually be keeping them, putting them together. By the end of a particular period, I will tell her, okay, you can register, I can register more persons and give them the part of the money they have paid back already. That's what we call cash flow now. That's how, then I had no idea what cash flow is. But that was how I created my cash flow, because I needed to give other women, and there was no fund, there was no uncle or auntie anywhere. I beat my hand today, no uncle or auntie trained me in school. I did all myself with the help of my mother and the business I was doing in school. So, knowing that nobody will come and help me, though we all have our past, I think most of the mistakes we made in the past is actually, I think they're all good experience in teaching the young ones now that please don't toe that line, don't go there. Do you understand? You can actually earn money legitimately, because those ones, they don't last. They don't last. So that was how I came up with my cash flow management, and I started. Then I called my mother. I was like, Mommy, please, I've started this business, so look at what I started. I want you to help me gather women in Benin. She was like, I don't understand. You don't want to go and look for a job? So this is what you want to do? I said, yes. I said, because I know that I don't want to work for anybody. So why did you go to school to study chemistry? My mother was like, are you for real? How are you going to sustain this? How are you going to do this? I said, don't worry. Don't worry. I already have this vision. God will help me. And that is the truth. It was all God. And she started the union in Benin then with 5 women. So I was able to come up with my cash flow management to actually grow the business. Then with God, and I was consistent, let me put it that way. Because then I didn't know what they call human hair, Brazilian. Then my mates then, you see them balling, doing everything, different, all sorts. They wear gold, those days when you're a student, especially those of them from Warri, there's this what they call US pants, a pant trouser, US. Then if you are in school and you don't have that US pants or US top, that means you are a novice, you don't know what is happening. But my dear, I knew where I was coming from. And where I was coming from was not good. And I know I cannot remain there. I just knew there's something more. Even till date, I still ask God, like, what is that thing? Because the truth of the matter, at every point in life, you keep discovering yourself. At every point in life, you find yourself saying, what's more? What is the next? What am I actually made for? Why am I here? So that was my journey. Now, just like the parable of the mustard seed, the key principle is consistency and perseverance. That when we are faithful with little, we are entrusted with more. It means understanding the value of small beginnings, whether it's starting with a small savings account or a modest investment. Faithfulness and discipline allows for multiplication over time. God multiplies our efforts and bless our endeavors when we are diligent, honest, and committed to excellence. Now, how do you commit to excellence? How are you diligent in your work? How do you persevere? I guess you heard the bio. In fact, I don't even know how I got there. That is the truth. When I read my bio most times, I'm like, me? I just know, in fact, I think what has been guiding me so far is I want to be good at whatever I do. I guess that statistics of 1,005 customers, it's even more than that. Because as at when we started, there was no proper data analysis. We're not gathering our data. I think that data started from 2020, I guess, when we started using the software. That was when we actually started data analysis. So it's actually more than 1,005 customers that we've been able to reach. How did I achieve that? If you ask me, I don't know. Yes, I don't know. I just know I had a vision and I was committed to that vision. How do I grow this business? You have staffs to pay salary. How do you make profit? Yes, how do you make profit? Because when you look at your profit or loss statement and the numbers are not adding up, then you are thinking, what can I do? How do I do this to make this happen? So I guess that was how we are currently operating 4 branches, I guess, Ughelli, Benin, the Mami, and Warri at Airport Road. Now, what am I trying to say? Be sure to recognize that in life, everything starts with a mindset of stewardship. Recognizing that our resources, your money, time, your talents, are blessings from God, and we are called to use them wisely. Now, there was a time that the cash flow management system I created was no longer enough. Yes, I think this year we have given loans of almost 200 million naira. Yeah. Now, how did we achieve that? We leveraged on opportunities. But first of all, how faithful are you with little? The little you have. Before we started having business plan, coming up with different policies, how faithful were you with that little you have? Like I mentioned earlier, I started with 150,000 naira in 2009 with just 3 women. So how faithful are you with the little? When the opportunity comes, are you prepared? What experience or what lesson do you have? Or how have you invested in yourself, your personal growth? What have you done? So that when that opportunity comes knocking, you are prepared. Now we leverage an opportunity. Yes, we can just say, oh, since we want to raise this amount and we don't have the funds. We all know that it's against a bank's policy. They don't give loan to money lenders. Yes. Now, how do we achieve that? We leverage on opportunity. We can say, oh, please, you have idle cash. All right, we'll give you so and so interest. It's called interest sharing. And, it's an idea that came because how do we meet up with the customer's demand? So I want you to ask yourself, are you managing what you have been given in a way that aligns with God's purpose? I guess we'll come down to that, which is your goals. Now, the second, after God, we have growth. Growth, the power of small steps and big results. Growth is the heart of the multiplier effect. The multiplier effect thrives on the term growth, particularly through the power of compounding. Albert Einstein called the compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. In simple terms, compounding is your money working for you. That means you are earning returns on earnings that are reinvested to generate even more returns over time. Now, probably you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Imagine you save 100 naira every month. I'm using 100 naira because of the students here with us. Yes, that money that mommy is giving to you, daddy gives to you to get lunch, to buy biscuits. You can actually start saving. I guess we have savings platform that accepts any amount. Okay, let's put it at 1,000 naira in a month. And you say, okay, I want to lock this for the next 20 years. Yeah, you make your projection. I'm just saying it can be 5 years, it can be 10 years. You understand? We have a lot of this savings platform that offer good interest rates annually. I think we have some for 15% per annum. We have, if you check, there are even some offering 18% per annum. And there are even more. In my organization, okay, I guess we'll talk about that later. There are even more. Now you're saving 1,000 naira monthly. And let's assume you're getting 10% interest annually. And you want to do that for, let's say, 30 years. Yes, you can start anytime. You can start planning for your retirement. You don't have to wait for the children you're bringing up to come and train you back. I've trained you, so you self come and take care of me. You don't need to do that. You can just start putting that money aside. You just do what they call it a direct debit. You just link your BVN, your ATM cards, and every month you don't even know, they'll just debit your account. Because if you say you want to be doing it yourself, trust me, you will not be faithful. I've been there. So you can start with that. Then do your calculation that, oh, in 30 years, at 10% per annum, what am I getting? It will surprise you to know how much you must have accumulated for that period of time. Yes, because that is your money working for you. So it's been added, so you keep any interest, even on the return that you have gotten. That is how it works. That's the compounding effect. Now, then we also have skills development. Yeah, so we like workshops like this. These days, we are lucky. We are lucky in this age. We have the tech that you don't have to be a graduate to actually learn technology. We have a whole lot of them on the internet. Even as simple as, it's not even simple, graphic design. It's not simple for me. I've been trying to learn it. Where's the digital mama? I'm not there yet. So as simple as graphic design, while you're still in secondary school, you can start learning that skill. These days, is no longer your certificate. I think there's this slang that is what's it called? Sabificate. What you know, what you can do, that is skill. That skill, what can you do? Apart from tech, there are a whole lot that you can do. What skill can you learn? Education is very important because it will make you do things differently. I'm a money lender, but trust me, the way I operate is actually in line with my vision. Yeah, I'm a money lender, but the way I operate is in line with my vision. If you come, in fact, you will. Is this a bank? It's not yet a bank. Though I don't want to own a bank, I think we can stop at the microfinance bank. I guess most of you will be wondering, why are you limiting yourself? I am not. I want it to align with the vision that God has given to me. My vision is to enhance the lives of low-income earners in rural and urban communities. And if it's a bank, we cannot achieve that vision. Do you know that those market women, they don't like going to the bank? In fact, bank don't even give them loan because they ask you for your business plan. They want to see this, they want to see that. Give us collateral. You have lands with C of O. So who is going to attend to the informal sector? And trust me, they don't even know what they are missing. You see that the informal sector, that is where the money is. So you just have to look for what you can do to serve them. You're a graphic designer. You can help them advertise their business on the internet. Help them design flyers. Even tomato seller. I remember there was a flyer we did. We used this tomato seller and say Mama Caro. If you see the way they relate to that flyer, do you understand? It's relatable because this is what they do. You can as well do something like that for them. Your mother sells tomatoes in the market. Help her. Design the flyer. Go and learn graphic design. Yes. Learn it. You can start doing jobs. There was a time when we are in my organization, we're looking for a graphic designer. And just to design, because I was like, just to design this, you are asking us to pay this. So if we're designing 10, how much are we paying? And I was telling my team, I said, hey, I must learn this thing. Because imagine how much you are paying. So at this stage, don't say, oh, I don't have money to do business. I don't have money to do this. And I'm still in secondary school. I'm waiting after I write my WAEC. No, that's holiday. That holiday you have. Look for a skill to learn. Look for a skill. If you are not the techie type, you can learn this, like our skill acquisition program going on right now for women and young girls. We teach makeup, we teach wig making. You know, what is that need? That thing in your environment that you know that people always go for. Is it snacks? You can learn how to make chin chin, what's it called? Those small chops. You know, those things. You don't actually need a huge capital to start up on those skills after you must have learned it. You can start doing that. On Sundays when you go to church, you do your snacks. Wake up very early in the morning. You do your snacks. Just get this, what's it called, transparent buckets. You put them. And don't be ashamed, though. I am telling you. Don't be shy. When I was in secondary school, my mother used to do fufu. We call it akpu. You know, that's what they call it. My mother used to do it. And before I go to school, I'll help her to supply restaurants. When I get to school, I will be smelling. It smells. Oh, God. It smells. I will be smelling. Though it actually helped me to filter my friends. Yes. Because you will see those that are real, they don't mind. Then those that are not, Zainab, smelling. But I don't care. Because that is how we feed. Without it, we will not eat. Without it, my mother will not be able to pay my school fees. I think back then in secondary school, my school fees was it 350 naira or was it 250? I can't remember. But it was a struggle. Yes. I know the number of times they'll send me home. I had 2 teachers then because I was in science class. When we have practical in the lab, and one of them discovered that I was sent home, she had to send for me and paid my school fees because she didn't want me to miss that practical class. So I was not ashamed. In my street then, they called me Akbuge. Yes, and I was very pretty then. If you see that Akbuge slim, yes, they called me that. But how is it today? I think those experiences actually prepared me for whatever I am today and what I am going to be. And I would not, if I tell you that it has been easy, then I am deceiving you. It has not been easy. It is not an easy journey, but it is worth it. It is not an easy journey, but it is worth it. Now, skills development, I guess, so I work with your time. Then also note that your personal growth is essential to experiencing the multiplier effect. Yes, your personal growth. Because if you don't learn, you don't invest in your personal growth, like the MC mentioned, today we are on learning. We are learning, unlearning, and relearning. We learn every day. Whatever I know now, like I said earlier, was it last year, recently, I had to go back to school. Yes, because I needed to build a career on the finance world. So I had to go back to school. I had to even write WAEC. That was 4 years ago. Imagine, I had my BSc since 2009. But mind, I don't even know where that certificate is, so maybe it should be somewhere. You understand? But I had to go back to school. I know the courses I have taken. Like I tell people, when I started my business in 2009, if I knew what I know now, probably it would have been a microfinance bank by now. Yeah. I didn't know on time, but it was not late. I started learning. I learned. I took a lot of certificate programs, courses online, paid huge amounts that today my business can run without me. Yes, a lot of persons don't even know. And in fact, there was a time, I don't tell people I own Zade. I don't know what they call that. I had this complex, like people like you, this company. So I tell people I'm working for somebody. When I came to Warri in 2017, I was in Asaba. Then my husband was like, oh, let's come to Warri. You know, then Asaba was not really the happening place. Then I think Okowa just entered. So we came to Warri. I didn't know anybody. Nobody. But I was already doing my business, and I started. And my first customers were along Jakpa Road. What they call? That's Echo Bank. Is it Oceanic? Echo Bank area. Those were my first customers. There's some women there that sells bole, drinks. You know, I just walked up to them. Though I had a friend back from school, she had a shop around that area. So I usually visit her like, okay, this was the only person I knew in Warri. And like, I was like, she was like, do you still do that, your business? I said, yes, so, but you know this town, I don't know anybody. So I was like, okay, you can speak to those women. And that was how I started. That was in 2017. There was no office. In fact, my husband was not even aware because my husband didn't want me to actually continue in that line. Because if you see me inside the market, forget this thing that I'm putting on. Most times you can see me with barefoot, stepping into mud. Yes, and I'm telling you, the informal sector, that is where the money is. Know this, the informal sector. So that was how I started. There was no office. I already had my forms because, you know, I had customers. Because when we moved to Asaba, so I go to Abraka once a week. From Abraka, I was the manager, I was the loan officer, I was the secretary, I was the, marketer, accountant. I was everything then. Do you understand? Until when, as I was expanding, more customers, I know I needed more hands. And I started getting people to work. I think the very first time I employed someone, that was 2012. Yes, 2012. That was when I said, oh, no, I need people now to join me to do this job. And till date, we are still, in fact, I can't tell you the number of staffs we have currently and those that have worked with me so far. So when I came to Warri, there was no office when I started. The first loan I gave to them, I gave to 25 women. I gave them 25,000 naira each. I can't forget. We all went to Zenith Bank at Ekma. If you see the crowd with me inside the bank, and that was how I withdrew. You take. They had a leader, which was the woman along Jakpa Road, and every day they all go there to pay to her. I go for pickup. You know, the repayment cards, I came up with all that. So before the advent of having lawyers, consultants everywhere, that's the most time. They come up with an idea, I'll just be laughing because at the end of the day, whatever idea they are coming up with is something that I have done before. And as of then, I thought probably the idea was not good enough. Like, are you sure? But you know when you see professionals, those that are already in that field, so you think, oh, they know better than you. And we are paying heavily. These consultants, they take a lot of money. But when they come, you see all the strategy. I will now call my other staff. I'll say, wait, not be this thing that we they do that time. We can't stop and say the thing not good. Not being this person bring again. I don't know if you. So if your vision aligns with God's purpose, I'm telling you, you'll go far. Because the idea will just come. The idea just keeps coming. I can be in the bathroom, there's a problem. And all of a sudden, an idea will just come. Ask my team, when I get to the office, hey, come to my office. They know that she wants to start writing. Yes, I can be driving, and an idea just come. Now, why is that? I have a vision. I think we'll come back to this vision. That's our goals. I have a vision, and then I have worked on myself. I have invested in myself, which is your personal growth. So that when you invest in yourself, you are prepared for that opportunity when it comes. Someone comes and says, okay, I want to invest with you. Let me see your business plan. What's your business plan? Or what's the vision? Like whatever I do today, my vision guides me. Your vision is like a roadmap. Yes, your vision is like a roadmap. Like, this is how I should go. This is how you should go. So the goal is to make Small, consistent efforts today that will lead to exponential growth tomorrow. Now let's talk about goals. The blueprint for multiplication. The roadmap to financial success. Your goals. Your goals are your vision. It's that simple, your vision. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do that thing? That whatever you are doing. There should be a drive. For me, it was my background. I didn't want to go back there. Until now, it keeps me going. I have tasted poverty. When I mean poverty, I have tasted it. Forget anything you see. When they come to my house, most I say, forget all these things. We don't see. Yes. I tell people I hawked. Yeah. When you come back from school, you go and hawk. Because how you want to take chop now? How will mommy prepare food? You need to help her to sell her business. So I hawked. And I was not ashamed. Until date, it has helped me a lot in life that I sell my market anywhere I go. I'm not just selling my market to those that will buy. I'm also selling my market to those that want to invest in me. That I tell you, this is my vision. When you have a vision, that's the roadmap to your success. Multiplier effect is most powerful when directed towards clear, actionable goals. You are setting meaningful goals. It's crucial to experiencing the multiplier effect. When we set goals that aligns with God's purpose and our values, we create a roadmap for success and impact. Without clear goals, even the best financial strategies fall short. Even the best financial opportunities can be wasted without goals. What are your goals? What are your short-term, your medium-term, and long-term goals? Your vision. What do you want? Like for me, in my company, the vision is enhancing the lives of low-income earners in rural and urban communities by providing them with excellent financial service. So we are also committed to customer service. We want you to be comfortable. There was a time recently I suffered a setback because I deviated from the vision. You know, most times some consultant will tell you, if you continue this line, this is not happen, this is not happen. Okay, let's do this. We decided, okay, let's deviate. And we got stuck. I had to go back and start asking God for mercy. Yes, I went back to ask God for mercy, like, God, I am sorry. And started retracing my step. Because we have a vision. So if you are telling me, you are coming, I want 10 million naira loan, please, the company is not for you. Do you understand? Your vision, then your vision. What is your long-term, whatever vision you have for your company is not just for maybe 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. It should be like a lifetime. Yes. My vision, we've always had low-income earners. Abi? Even before we were born, they've been there. And after, when we are gone, they will still be there. So my vision is like, I don't need to keep changing my vision all the time. So what goals are you setting for yourself? You want to do this, you want to do that. What steps are you taking today? We have targeted savings. Maybe you want to buy something. Those are your goals. I have some people that say, this is my vision board. This is what I want to achieve within this period. Now, what efforts are you taking? What steps are you taking towards achieving that? Yes, you want to buy a car. You want to graduate maybe in 4 years' time. What are you doing now? So that you ensure that in 4 years' time you're graduating. You want to start this business. Mind you, you don't need to wait for big sum. Like I said, small steps. Small steps. With God, the multiplier, it increases over time. It multiplies over time. So what steps are you taking now? Are you waiting for 10 million naira before you will start that business? You are struggling in your business. Maybe some of you will say, oh, I'm not getting anything from this business. So how do you want me to save? It's possible you can save. It's the mindset. That's the vision. I don't advise people, especially when you're struggling in business, to take a loan. No, don't. Or you want to start a business, it is not advisable to take a loan. It's good for my business, but please don't take a loan when you want to start up a business because you have not yet tested the water. So you can do what we call targeted savings. With those savings, a platform that offer high interest rates. You can lock it. It's okay, for the next 6 months, this is what I want to achieve. And how do I achieve it? Maybe you want to raise $1 million in 3 months. You just break it down daily. That's, I think drink right now is 500 naira for Coke, then a meat pie. You can say, okay, I will not be eating meat pie and Coke every day. So that's 1,000 naira, you start saving it every day. In 1 month, you will get, 30,000, right? So, and probably, how do I put this now? I think, let's say you want to save $1 million, and what you're earning, because you look at your earning. We have this, we have, there's this rule, 50, 30, 20. You can go and read about that rule. That will help with your targeted savings so that you know what you can save. When you want to achieve, you have a vision or you have a goal that you have set, but you have to first set the goal. Set your vision. Your vision is your roadmap to success. So goals are what turn dreams into plans. Your goals turn your dreams into plans, and your plans into achievements. Let me take that again. Goals are what turn dreams into plans, and plans into achievement. All right, let's put this all together. The multiplier effect is a simple principle of faith, effort, and vision. Whether you are a student, you are a business owner, an investor, or you just want to grow your financial stability, the formula remains the same. Number 1, trust God as the ultimate source of growth and wisdom. 2, commit to consistent, intentional growth. That is, growth through disciplined savings, investing, and learning. Then 3, set clear, actionable goals and pursue them with purpose. The multiplier effect teaches us that small beginnings can lead to big results. It encourages us to act with faith, invest in personal growth, and set goals that inspire collective progress. As I conclude, I encourage each of you to reflect on your own lives. Where can you sow a seed today? Where can you sow that mustard seed today? How can you multiply the gifts you have been given to create a positive ripple effect in the world? Let's also remember that success isn't just about individual achievements. It's about multiplying impact for ourselves, our families, and our communities. Together, we can create a legacy of financial empowerment that lasts for generations. Most importantly, seek God's purpose. Focus on personal growth. As you do, watch how God multiplies your efforts and increases your impact. Thank you.